Smoke fills a marble temple, and a man just stands there, watching it burn. He's not running. He's not scared. He's smiling. You're looking at the night the Temple of Artemis burned to the ground. One of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, gone in hours. And the man who did it didn't want money. He didn't want revenge. He wanted you, right now, to say his name. So the city did something no one expected. They tried to erase him completely. But you already know how that turned out, because here we are. Let's go back a little. Ephesus, 356 BC, a city built on trade and pride. Its temple wasn't just a building, it took over a century to build. 220 feet long, built from marble, gold, and decades of labor. People traveled from across the ancient world just to see it. And somewhere in that crowd, one ordinary man watched and felt invisible. His name was Herostratus. No title, no wealth, no family worth mentioning. History doesn't even agree on what he did for a living. What we do know is this: he wanted to be remembered forever. And he'd decided ordinary greatness wasn't going to get him there. So he asked himself a darker question. What's the fastest way into every history book? Not building something, destroying something no one could ever rebuild. And there it was, right on the hill above him, the biggest target on Earth. On the night of July 21st, 356 BC, he made his move. The temple was massive, but it was mostly wood and oil inside, lamps, curtains, offerings. All it needed was one spark in the right place, and within minutes, the wonder of the world was burning from the inside out. Guards woke to smoke pouring through the sacred halls. By the time anyone reached the doors, there was nothing left to save. The people of Ephesus poured out of their homes to watch their city's soul collapse. And standing in the crowd, not hiding, not running, was Herostratus. He didn't need to escape. That was never the plan. When the guards grabbed him, he told them exactly why he'd done it, and what he said next horrified the entire city more than the fire itself. He hadn't burned it for gold. He hadn't burned it out of hatred. He said it plainly. He wanted his name spoken forever. Just that. Fame at any cost, even the cost of everyone else's history. The magistrates realized something chilling. Punishing him wouldn't be enough. Execution wouldn't erase what he wanted most. It might even hand it to him. So Ephesus tried something almost no city had tried before. They passed a law making it a crime for anyone to even say his name. Speak it, write it, mention it in passing, and you'd be punished too. They called it damnatio memoriae, the condemnation of memory itself. An entire city agreed to pretend one man had never existed. And for a while, it actually seemed to work. No records, no trial transcripts with his name intact, total silence. But you can't kill a story just by refusing to tell it, because someone, somewhere, always talks. Decades later, a historian named Theopompus wrote the name down anyway. He wanted people centuries later to know exactly what had happened and why. And once it was written, the ban couldn't hold any more. The law, meant to bury him forever, ended up being the reason we still talk about him. That's the twist nobody in Ephesus saw coming. Banning a name doesn't erase a man. It just makes historians curious. And curiosity, it turns out, spreads faster than any law can stop it. So the very thing Ephesus feared most came true anyway. His name survived, and the temple he destroyed became part of his legend too. But there's a strange twist buried even deeper in this story. Some ancient writers claimed the fire happened the exact same night as something else enormous, something involving a baby who would grow up to conquer half the known world. Historians still argue if that's true, or just too good a story to resist. Either way, Herostratus got exactly what he wanted, and worse than he imagined. Because his name didn't just survive, It was about to become a warning for every empire after him. 2,000 years later, that warning got a name of its own. Psychologists needed a word for people who crave infamy over nothing at all. They called it the Herostratus syndrome, naming a mental pattern after him, the ultimate insult and the ultimate victory. Because 2,300 years later, you're still hearing his name. That's the number that matters here. 2,300 years. One night of fire bought him longer than most kings ever get. So did Ephesus actually win, or did they hand him immortality? Every time someone tells this story, the answer gets a little darker. Because right now, you just said his name in your head, didn't you? And that's the trap. 2,300 years, and it still works. Rome knew it too. They banned naming certain criminals in official records. Same idea, different empire, same failure. You cannot legislate away human curiosity. Ephesus proved that first. But here's a detail almost nobody mentions. Nobody actually knows what he looked like. No statue, no coin, no portrait survived or was ever allowed to exist. Every image you've seen of him tonight is a guess. Ephesus made sure of that. They erased his face completely, and still couldn't erase his name. That's the part that should unsettle you. Fame outlived the face behind it. A man became a warning, a syndrome, a footnote in every empire since, and we still don't know his face. Meanwhile, the temple itself refused to just disappear either. Alexander the Great, the very same baby born that night, later offered to rebuild it. The Ephesians turned him down. Politely, firmly. They said a god shouldn't build a temple for another god. Flattering and a clever refusal. So Ephesus rebuilt it themselves. Bigger, grander, without his help. It rose again as one of the true 7 wonders, more famous than before the fire. Which means the fire didn't just make him famous, it made the temple more famous too. Herostratus burned a wonder down and accidentally built a bigger one. He never got to see it. He was long dead before the last stone was placed. Which raises the question that still bothers historians today. Did he actually win, or did history just quietly outsmart him? Because think about what's left of him. A name, a syndrome, and nothing else. No face, no grave, no family line. Just 4 words people still repeat. The man who burned a wonder. That's it. That's the whole inheritance. 4 words forever attached to destruction. Meanwhile, the temple he destroyed gave the world something far bigger. Architecture, art, centuries of pilgrims, one of the 7 true wonders of the ancient world. So maybe the real twist is this. The building outlasted the man who tried to erase it. Earthquakes and invasions eventually finished what Herostratus started. By the 6th century, the temple was gone for good. This time nobody was blamed. Today, one lone column stands where a wonder of the world once rose. Storks nest on top of it now. That's genuinely the current use of a wonder of the world. Herostratus never saw any of this. Not the ruin, not the rebuild, not the storks. He got exactly 1 night of fire and 2,300 years of consequence. And every time this story gets told, that trade gets a little more real. You didn't ask for his name, but you've got it now. That was always the plan. Which makes you the latest link in a chain that started with a lamp and a curtain. Every generation since has had to decide the same thing. Say it or stay silent. Every generation so far has said it. If you're wondering whether that makes you complicit, well, welcome to the club. Ephesus tried to bury one man's name for good. It's now printed in every history book on Earth. Meanwhile, most of the officials who wrote that law are footnotes at best. Funny how that worked out for everyone involved. So here's where this leaves us. A wonder gone, a name immortal, a lesson mostly ignored. Because people are still doing exactly what he did, just with bigger stages now. Different century, same hunger, same trade of destruction for attention. If you want more stories history tried and failed to bury, you know what to do. Subscribe. A new animated history documentary lands here every Saturday. Because next time, we're covering the wonder that vanished without anyone lighting a match. No arsonist, no confession, just an empire that vanished and left everyone still asking why.